Good evening and welcome. Chris Upton in the house. How are you all doing? Steve Morton, the first man in the house. Adam Hudson, second in the house. Tracy Dodds is always here, isn't she? Following Nigel Moore, good evening. Obviously not playing with the band, not playing your trumpet tonight, Nigel. Mark, good evening to you. Abigail French, good evening to you. Leanne Vine in the house as well. Graham Allison, not the tables. Carlos, Steve Pace, Michael McLaughlin, Frank Casey. Good evening, everybody. From a warmer Cornwall. It's been bloody cold here, but it's definitely getting warmer. Now the season's nearly over. Okay, how are you all doing? How are you all diddling? That's what I want to know. Has everybody had a good season? Has everybody had a good shooting season? Come on, let's have the SP. Has it been too wet? Or have you all had a real good season to thoroughly enjoy it? Come on, there's enough of you in here. There's 13 of you in here. Before I go on a rant, I'm going to go on a rant tonight. I'm having a rant. Some of you like it when I have a rant, don't you? I went to hairdressers today. And he says to me, you lost weight. I says, I don't carry any weights. Look at me. He cut the freaking back of my head, and I swear, it's terrible. It's about a grade off, not a grade 1. And if you run your hand up backwards, it gives you a splinter. It's absolutely horrible on the back of my head. Thank God you can't see the back of my head. I got creases like the Michelin man, like a Michelin tire. And I thought I had no fat on my head. It must be muscle on the back of my head. Good evening, Kieran. Loved it. Sad it's coming to an end so soon. There you go. Is there only one person? 2 mild birds didn't stay. Yeah, exactly. 2 mild, isn't it? You need that cold snap, don't you? You need that cold snap. Enjoyed the season. Well done. Give Sue something to grab hold of. She's got something to grab hold of. She'd have to freaking control me by my hair. Trust me. She get a better swing if she goes in lower. Anyway, I'm going to have a moan tonight. I'm waiting for 25 people. I'm going to have a freaking bitch tonight. I'm going to. And some of you know what I'm going to talk about. I tell you. You don't need to be fortune tellers. You'll know what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the crap dog training world. Oh, Peter Piper's in the house, 21. He's in the house. He's not too late. Okay, let's start. And the rest they've missed out, haven't they? They've missed out. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm not being rude. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at my phone. I feel so ignorant and never even said thank you for the cup. I'd lost any faith in you, Haley, actually. I thought Karen had stolen it and was keeping it under the bed for a rainy day. Last days for me on Saturday and Monday and Tuesday. There you go. There you go. So, okay, let's have a... This is what's happening in the dog training world at the moment. So I posted it on the group. The group would have seen it. And I said, let's ask the question. Is it a mock trial or is it a test? I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to give them the limelight. Exciting event. Event 1, 2-day introduction to trialing event. This will be spread over 2 Saturdays, building on a very successful training event 2023. Day 1, the 9th of March. A trial Pacific training day for all spaniels present at the day will be professional trainers, panel judges, a Q&A opportunity, and trialing Pacific activities, all taking place on a trial Pacific round using dummies blank firing rounds. Day 2, a chance to really put that training into the test, a mock trial. This will be run exactly like a trial, with panel judge and scoring, and as you would expect when entering, the unique opportunity is live judge feedback. The judge will assist you as you go, giving their views and opinions and advice on you and your dog. On you and your dog. For anyone new to the sport, judges do not give feedback or talk you through their run. This is an amazing opportunity for newcomers to taste, to get a taste of the sport, learn all about it, as well as your dog. It is equally a great chance for experienced handlers to test a new dog and see where they are. Lincolnshire, event price £80. This includes both days, one handler and one dog. J-Reg course. These are often hard to come by, but would be a must for anyone to get full understanding of the trialing and the rules and expectations. This is also a great step for anyone thinking of becoming a judge. If you're thinking of becoming a judge, throw some dummies. Become a dummy thrower. They didn't say that, but that's just if anyone thinking of becoming a judge. This is planned for April 2024. Both events are limited numbers and can only go ahead with you. For our secretary to confirm further details and make necessary booking payments and plans, we need people to sign up for the event to go ahead. We will need a non-refundable deposit payment. It will take place £80 for a single. So okay. So let's ask. How can it be mock trial when they're throwing dummies and firing a starting pistol? How can that be judged like a mock trial? Yes, Karen, you're right. How to suck a golf ball through a hose pipe. Now, let's be honest. Do we say things, or do we sit back and let these people become so freaking gullible? There's pictures there of dummies and balls. Next one. There's a girl there firing a starting pistol and throwing a dummy with a bag of dummies on the floor. I can tell you what happens when you leave a bag of dummies on the floor on a test. Oh, it's not a test. It's a trial. It's a mock trial. That's not a dummy. It's a pheasant in disguise. No live game out of season, says David Jones. So let's have a look at the next photo. Oh yeah, look at that. Look, it looks like a test to me. Well, is it in April? Hang on, I can tell you. Saturday, the 16th of March. We all know when the shooting season finishes. Right. It only snows in April. That's what Prince said. It only snows in April. I'm not being funny. Are people being totally misled? I mean, you people tell me. Because in a trial, when a bird is flushed, it comes off the dog's nose most of the time. That's what you're actually looking for. Sometimes it comes off. It's as a certain trainer used to say, a volunteer bird. It volunteered itself. You sometimes get birds taken off and the dog hasn't flushed it, but you're actually looking for a contact flush. Dog punches the bird out, watches it away. How's it going to watch the dummy away from its nose when somebody is throwing the dummy from a different place? Simple as that. It's then going to hear a shot. How do you know it's not going to be echoed over here or over there? in the position. And how the hell is that anything like a proper day live game? Shall I go? They probably wouldn't even accept an application. Yeah, Chris, it's targeted at pet people who wouldn't know the difference between a pheasant and a crow. Exactly, Michael. Exactly. Now, you know, when I see stuff like that, you could say, well, why do you let yourself get triggered, Chris? Because you're being misled, you people out there. Exactly what David Jones says. It's a money-making machine. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a mock day. A mock day. You could use cold game, couldn't you? You could fire a shotgun towards the bird when you throw it out. You could make it a lot more closer to a proper day out in the field shooting game. If it's out of season, right? You could use cold game. Oh no, who's brought that rule in? You can't use cold game when training dogs. Exactly, Leon Vine. It's more like a training for working test, not a mock trial. Exactly. Who comes up with this shit? Who's aimed at? People with no idea. Not being funny. Why? Why would you gain any knowledge if you wanted to become a judge if you actually went to one of those days? Now, you can't tell me that. I can tell you through experience that I guarantee if you go to a judge at the end of the day and ask him nicely, excuse me, I'm new to the sport. Could you give me a little bit of feedback, what you thought of my dog, where I went wrong, the good points and the negative points? Then you put your head above the parapet, be prepared to be shot at, because some judges will tell you straight and some judges will freaking say, let me just have a look at my book. And they look at their book and they haven't written enough because the dog didn't excite them. They didn't write enough in their book of what they saw when the dog ran under them. And it's so important that if you're judging, that the dog that you run under, whether it's a winning dog or not a winning dog in your eyes, you write a lengthy piece on what you liked about the dog and what you didn't like about the dog. But guess what? That's called judge's discretion. The judge has got to make a decision on the day. Now, let's just say you've got a judge that likes an out-and-out hunting machine, and he doesn't like these windscreen wiper action dogs that are all around your feet. And he's looking for the out-and-out hunting machine. The dog is on the edge. It's pulling like a little bit too much sometimes, but just enough to keep it in there. But it's so exciting, your adrenaline is going watching the dog. Some judges want that nice little steady dog that's been bored shitless and all around your feet, got no ability, natural ability I'm talking about, but they want to see that. Now, I'm not knocking some of the pros who've got those windscreen wiper action dogs. That's a matter of choice. On the day, I'm talking about Spaniels here, not Labrador so much. On the day, some people want to see a thinking dog, and some people want to see a dog that's been trained like a monkey's organ grinder. I've got a working test end of February. Good for you. So why couldn't they call it a mock test? In other words, it's not under kennel club. It's not under kennel club rules, so you're not going to get a certificate. You can ask the judge for advice. They can give you feedback if you want it. And it's a learning day. That's a mock test. That's not a mock trial. I'll take the loss to a better dog on the day, shake the hands, but I'm not into that corrupt arse licking. Oh, I didn't think you were. I don't lick. Oh, stop it, Karen. Karen, I don't lick Kaylee's ass, so I'm certainly not licking anyone else's for silverware. Bloody hell, Karen, you want to say any down to me, mate? Karen, let's have a look. Can you send us a picture of your tongue? She doesn't know what she's missing, that girl. That's a new one that is on here, isn't it? That's taking that. I mean, I think she deserves a silverware if she's going to be doing that. Yeah, you talk about. Yeah, it's normally Leanne kicking off like this. Honestly. Honestly. No, I'm not ever saying the dog's bollocks again, Karen, for you.
Karen, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. What did I say?
Susan said it's not even 9 o'clock. All the kids haven't gone to bed yet. Bloody hell, that was a bit direct. That was too much information, Sue said. The Wigan method. It's very corrupt. It's not what you know, it's who you know with these test trials. Always the same faces that win. I think that there is a mixture. I honestly believe there's a mixture because I've been in it, seen it, and read the book. There's some brilliant people out there, some great people out there, but there is the cliques, and I talk about the cliques. But I just want. I read that. Sue's mum's not very well. She's on her very last legs. We've been to the hospital for the last 2 days, and it's been a bit hard. And not being funny, you've got to come in here and you've got to then act the jolly idiot, don't you, like I normally do. I was sitting. I bought some lovely rib beef to do a lovely bit of beef before Sue came home from work. But when I came back from the shops, she was there. So she said, my mum's not got very long. So we had to run up the hospital. We had to leg up the hospital. And we were up in the hospital. So I said, come on, let's go for a drink and calm down a little bit and let's grab something to eat. So we went into the Chinese and I had some Chinese. I've been on this diet. As you can see, look at this. Look. You can't even see my stomach from here, can you? No. I'm going to tell you a story in a second, right? I'm going to carry on with what I'm talking about. I'll forget. No, I'm going to tell you now. So I'm talking to my mate, Colin Past, a good lad. And Colin was the lad who had Clare Bart and got some awards with Clare Bart before Ian won with the dog. Made it up to champion within 3 runs. So Colin trained Clare Bart, and I've said this before. Anyway, I'm speaking to Col, and we've known each other. And the bits that I put up, how old did we say Belle was? That was Sue? How many years? 30 years, was it roughly? Something like that. I'm not looking like you, Gary, though, am I? Mr. Perfect. I'm trying to get down to Gary's size. I'm trying to get down to Gary's size. Shut up, Chris. So anyway, where was I? Oh, that was it. Talking to Colin. Anyway, when I first met Cole was a big lad. And strong as freaking ox, right? But big lad from Derby. Really big lad. And we went to Scotland. And I walked him all around Scotland. I absolutely knackered him out. But by God, he couldn't even put his freaking boots on because his calves were that big. Even with them leather boots that we used to use with the zips down, the biggest calf size, his calf was that big. And he's, I don't know, 2 foot taller than me. He's like 6 foot freaking, what's it? He's a giant, absolute giant, right? And I've had such a good laugh with Cole over the years. And we were talking about, I went to the doctors, and the doctor says I've got to lose 9.5 stone. Freaking hell, I'm going to lose 9.5 stone. Now, I fully understand. I've got little chubby tops, and I've got a belly on me, and I need to lose some weight. I'm 100% with that. If you said to me, let's lose 3 stone, Mr. Upton, and you're going to be a far better chap for it, I'd be going, yes, doctor, good idea. Let's start and lose a stone, and let's see how we get on, shall we? And I'll cut back on the carbohydrates and all this crap. But to have the news that you've got to drop 9.5 stone is a freaking nightmare. Anyway, I'm speaking to Colin, and Colin said, I've never been there. Colin said at his biggest, he was 28 stone. 28 stone. And he got down to 18 stone. 18 stone. And then he said, I said, so you did drop all that weight? It's possible. I never thought that was humanly possible for a person who was big and strong, like he was. Yes, he was fat as well, overweight, big time, all them years ago, 30 odd years ago. And I thought to myself, where did the rest of your body go? And he said to me, and I tell you what, I felt a little bit of puke in my mouth. As soon as he said it, I felt a little bit of puke in my mouth. Got over to Turkey for the tummy, took stomach bypass to lose that kind of weight. He said it's like a freaking hula skirt. Hanging over your ball bag and you don't see it. Now that was the point where I went, there's no freaking way am I losing that sort of weight to be able to say, oh, I've got a miniskirt on. Right? You're having a freaking laugh. The doctor can fuck off. I'll die fat. When I look down, I want to see my knob and balls. I do not want to see a freaking hula skirt. She's pissing herself in the background. She thinks it's freaking hilarious. Oh, yeah. Slap it aside. We used to, I'm not going to say it because it's bloody rude. I'll have freaking belly hanging out like John Wayne saddlebags. Stop it, Leanne Vine. It's not bloody funny. I've let myself go gradually, but I'm not freaking dropping it like that. Freaking imagine that. I'd have tits on my belly button. My tits are freaking, there's a skinner drop and I'd have freaking tits on my belly button. It's not freaking happening. Right, my skin is taut. It's like, it's soft. There's no freaking, it's like, you look at that elephant's arse, isn't it? It's like freaking, freaking Jesus Christ, honestly. Look, everyone, I'll show it. No. That was too much information. So I'm just saying, I'm triggered today. Freaking triggered. If you lost 9 stone, you'd look like an X-ray. Sue will have to roll you in flour for the damp spots. Honestly, you lot. Honestly, to set yourself up live, eh? Hey, talk about set yourself up live. Just sit here and don't show you me freaking stomach, and everyone goes, "Is it not a bad looking bloke for his age?" Okay, he's got a freaking big nose. What are you laughing at now, Sue? What's the answer? You will have to take up the gym.
No.
Oh.
1, 2, 3 down.
You'll have to read it, Sue.
So you won't know if it's your tits or your balls.
Sue won't know if it's my tits or my balls. I tell you what, I freaking wish I was Karen. I wish I was a freaking stick insect. I'll tell you what. He goes. What'll happen, Chris? He said, what'll happen? He said, if you cut back and you fast, right? What'll happen? He says your muscle will disappear before you're fat. I'll just be a fucking jelly. I'll just be sitting on and going like, hello everyone, nice to see you again. Sorry I can't sit still, I'm all fucking wobbly. You'll have to shave one end. Which end? Freaking help me, Karen. This is supposed to be a dog training site, everyone. I'm supposed to be trying to make myself feel better. What happens? Somebody just lose 9.5 stone, and then my mate rings me up and starts giving me all the gory detail. I'm not interested. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. Unbelievable, isn't it? So is there anybody on here who can confess to being a bit chunky today and how much weight you've lost? Your love handles haven't stuck down to your freaking knees. No, look, Leanne, honestly, I can take it because I've been fat for a long time. If I just suddenly got fat and people took the piss out of me, I could sit there depressed if I was that sort of chap. Oh, you're too fucking late, Harry. You're too late. So has anybody on here been like 10, 15 stone heavier? Fucking hell. I bet many people on here 15 stone. Is there anybody been on here who's 10 stone, who's been 10 stone heavier than their body weight is now? No one's confessing. I'm the only fat bastard in the house. Okay, back to your dogs, This video of the lab. Give us your take up, Chris. There were some great points made, particularly from Tony Coburn, Richard, and I've taken both of them on board. Kieran, unfortunately, I've loved Sigourney Weaver in Gorillas in the Mist. You bastard, so you bastard. You bastard, honestly. Oh, honestly, you're so cruel, you God, honestly. So no one's confessing. So sorry, Karen, but like I said, Sue's mum is on her last leg. It's not like something we didn't know. She's been in an old people's home, and so we've all got to die. But you know, it's a sad situation when you see somebody like that. But some of those stuff about it are very powerful. Exactly. And the thing is, they don't eat fucking chocolate, do they? Ever seen a gorilla eating chocolate and fucking muffins? No, he sits there eating bananas. And then Colin says, oh, if you've got this, you don't want to eat bananas. So then you punch it in the internet and it says, yes, bananas are good for you. But not a fat bastard. Right? So you can't eat bananas. You can't eat potatoes. You can't eat pasta. Well, you can't eat bread. On a serious note, oh, the pup's okay. What pups? Oh, the pup that got his head stuck in the gate. I saw that one, Karen. Don't even. Almost had to cut the gate. Car jack wouldn't go in. Oh, Jesus Christ. Unbelievable, isn't it? I lost 15 stone once. I stopped carrying the wife. Don't tell her I said that. You naughty boy. You naughty boy, honestly. Haven't any of you got any sympathy? Because guess what? This has crept up on me, you know. This has crept up on me. The doctor's never said nothing for 35, 40 years, 50 years. The doctor's never said, oi, fat boy, don't think you should start thinking about losing weight. Because in another few years, you could be in trouble. Listen, I've heard every freaking joke going. I lost £2,500 once in the casino, and it gave me the shits for 2 days. Right? Must be Sue's cooking. You must be freaking joking, Leanne. I would be freaking a rake if it was Sue's cooking, because she doesn't cook. I do the cooking, and blokes put bigger portions on the plate. But look at her in that. Oh no, she won't come on here, will she? Come over here, Skinny. No. See, she won't come over here. But I tell you what, she is honestly how she can take as much intake of food and wine and go, it's all right for me, innit? She loves rubbing it in. No way it's Sue's good cooking. Sue's freaking good cooking has never happened. She used to make cakes for the kids when the kids were at home. She stopped making cakes when the kids left. So just imagine what I'd look like if she'd carried on making cakes as well. So I'm eating all this shit at the moment. I'm eating all this shit. And Colin said, you can go on the carnivore diet. Is it Kenko or something? Cake. I thought that was coffee. And I said, what? It's just keto, is it? And he says, you just eat meat. He says, you'll shit through the eye of a needle. Oh, fucking great news. Lovely. Fantastic. I said, what happens? He says, you know when you have a jacket potato? I said, I've never had a jacket potato. He says, you never had a jacket potato? I said, no, I've never had a jacket potato. I always have 2 or 3 jacket potatoes.
I see, and Graham's got it right. Kirk, self-inflicted.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, what I'm going to do next week, I'm going to ask everyone on Gladiator, all the gladiators, to come on here and just run off their freaking weight. What weight they're carrying. right? Because every one of them needs to lose about 9 stone, because muscle is heavier than fat. And yet they say me muscle's going to fall off before me fat, because my body's going to go, I'm going to protect myself. You need to protect yourself, fat boy. So I'm going to freaking eat away at your muscles and let your fat sit round your belly. Freaking, I thought I was designed brilliantly until this shit happens. So, like I said, this was supposed to be a dog training freaking session again. And what happens? I'm feeling sorry for me freaking self again. So, I went into town and wanted to get the meat into Plymouth. I went in Sports Direct because they do boss stuff in there, and sometimes it's reasonably priced. But I can never find a t-shirt that sits on me nicely. They don't make fat boy t-shirts for boss. It's all skinny. I mean, Karen could freaking find thousands and thousands. Oh, Gary Marriott, Mr. Perfect. Everything's Mr. Perfect size, isn't it? Gary Marriott. So he'd be right, wouldn't he? He could slip into a small, couldn't he? He could still go to Mother Care and fit into some of the Mother Care freaking stuff. Salads every day. You're having a laugh. You want to be in blacks. Maybe look thinner if I'm in black. Anyway, so what I'm saying is I went into this Sports Direct. I have never, ever seen it before in my life. On the back of the shelf of about 15 t-shirts, one was hanging down about that much more than the others. And I thought, hang on, why is that t-shirt right at the back, right at the top? She's having a piss in the corner. So, in the camping section, Sue thought that was funny, so. Anyway, so listen to this, so one t-shirt in the whole shop. I thought, there's a freaking big one up there. I'm gonna freaking grab that. So I get this long pole. I freaking maneuver at the back of the freaking top of the shelves. About 3 t-shirt shelves up. I managed to hook it like being in the fairground. It was, and it fell out of the freaking sky. I caught it. I've never seen a t-shirt like it. I picked it up. You know, you get 1X, 2X, and 3X. Well, unfortunately, I have to look for 3X. 3X, right? And you don't see many 3X. You see plenty of 1X, 2X, but not many 3X. This was 8X. 8X. I've never seen a t-shirt with 8 X's on it.
Did you have your glasses on there?
I had my glasses on. Giant frickin' haystacks would have frickin' looked. It would have looked big on him. I could not frickin' believe that they had one t-shirt in the whole place that would have fitted over me and looked like a nightie. I could have come on here with just a t-shirt on and gone, fucking hell, his ass lost some weight, hasn't he? It's dropping off him. No, it wasn't latex. That's what condoms are made of, isn't it? Oh no, spandex. No, stop it, Chris. Was it Mark? Was it sized as Mark F? One size from Marquee. Yeah. I nearly bought it just to pin it on the frigging wall, just to show everyone that's what I used to be like. I've never seen 8XXXXXX. Honestly, unbelievable. Anyway, I put it up like that and I thought, hey, that's too freaking big for me. I walked out the shop skipping. Was that a tent or a t-shirt? You're a bit freaking late now, Michael. That's already been mentioned 5 times. That's already been mentioned 5 times. So, yeah. So that's it then, isn't it? So I was just hoping that if there was anybody on here my sort of size, and I'm going to be losing this weight in such a drastic way, you know, I'm going on this crash diet. What happens now is A lot of people, don't they? They lose weight if they lose a relationship, don't they? A long-term relationship or someone they love, they lose a lot of weight. I wonder if Sue could fuck off.
Yeah, I said you would get the whole group in there. Well, both me and Leanne would fit in it.
I'd like to ask the girls to jump into it and see if they can fit in with me, but not. I mean, not Soul, and not freaking. I wouldn't be able to catch Kieran. He'd be freaking running around in circles. When he's got worms, that boy. Did you tell the doctor, Chris, if you lost 9.5 stone, you would only need one eye? I don't get that one, Mark.
Well, you'd be half the person you are. Well, you'd be less than half the person, actually.
All right, I'd be half the person. Do you know what? The other day, in our private chat, we were having to talk about Prince Charles having a finger up his jacksie to freaking check his donut. Right? You know what I mean, don't you? His prostate, right? And do you know what? One of our members, I don't know if I should tell you who it is, Gary Marriott, right? Mr. Perfect. Do you know what he freaking said? He said, what did he say, Sue? He said, we were talking about the doctor having to put his finger up the jacksie to see if you've got a swollen donut. You know what I mean, don't you? You're all with me at this moment, are you? Or just I do have to spit out to Karen. Well, yeah, you could only see 10 to no. So you have to lie on the couch and he sticks his finger up and just has a feel around. And,
oh yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. Sue remembers now. Sue had to tell me because I was so focused on being sensible at night. Sensible, not like I normally am. Right? Gary said, what did he say, Sue?
You said put the finger up your jacksie, and he said, yeah, but you said he never even put any gloves on, and he said that's because he had two hands on his shoulders.
Yeah, I said he never even put gloves on, and Gary said that's because he put two hands on his shoulders, and I never thought nothing of it. And then she was laughing so much in the background. I said, what was funny? What Gary said? I didn't get it. She said it and said, well, what else is going up your bottom, Chris? Well, my doctor never did that, thank fuck. So I never even thought about that. I mean, Gary must have a strange bloody doctor, everybody. I mean, the problem is, Leicester, there's some dodgy freaking doctors up there, isn't there? Hey? Just imagine Leicester lying there. Would you like to lie on the side and stick a bum in the air? Right? And then the doctor's going, what? You think, shit, he's found cancer. No, he lost his freaking ring. The doctor, not Gary. Stop it, you lot. Anyway, one big finger. Stop it, Ian. Stop it. That's where the male G-spot is, apparently. It definitely is. And there's nothing wrong with poking around there. Because I tell you what, that stops you having freaking problems. Honestly. But I'm just giving away too much information. I'm not a doctor. I told you I'm not giving you. I read everything I do, you know. Did you see that thing? Did you see that thing with Gary? Not Gary, was it? Adam. Did you see that thing with Adam? Did everyone hear that thing with Adam? We shared it in the group. I'm not going to put it on here. It's only in the group. Did you hear it? Somebody phoned up and was pretending to be a dog and wanted to be groomed. No, he was pretending to be a dog, Sue. I don't care, right? He was pretending to be a dog. I don't care what he thought it was, but he was pretending to be a dog. And he was asking, because she does grooming, and would you groom him? Would you stroke him gently? I'll tell you what, there's some freaking strange people out there. Exactly, Adam. Exactly. But the thing is, we know it happens out there. It just doesn't come into my world very often. I tell you what, if that had come in my world, I would have videotaped it and I would have fucking played him along like fuck. Honestly, it would have been like offering him cheese. Oh, someone said that, and feed him cheese. There you go. I tell you what, I would have freaking played him like crap. I would have met him in a dark alley. This is the whole point, isn't it? This is it. It depends. You know, I know a very, very famous, I'm not going to say it on here. A lot of you know who I'm talking about. I know a very famous lady dog trainer whose husband is very, very famous. And I went round there one day and she was doing this to the dog. And she was slipping the cocker into the cocker. And I went, it was years ago. But I was a soft bastard. See, I was a townie, not a country boy. And I thought, oh my God, if it's going to mate, it's going to mate. Why the hell are you going to? She said, I'll not tell you what she said. I'll not tell you what she said. But I'll tell you what. Who's that, Chris? I'm not telling you who it was. I'm not telling you who it was. But I'm telling you it was a true story. And I thought to myself, I wonder if you use Vaseline on the finger I'm on about. To lube. Right, to lube. Anyway, I think that was enough information there, wasn't it? I'd hate to slip that name out because obviously there's a... But hey, at the end of the day, that's how you get eye contact. So, I don't want to know what you've done. You keep that shit to yourself, boy. Eye contact in a surgery is not that important, surely. I never looked back at my doctor and went, oh, that was nice. When he shoved his finger up my arse, eye contact important. I freaking looked at him, I freaking feel it coming, I see it coming. No, he said, yeah, I'll just lay over there, put your leg over there and relax. Freaking relax. Relax. I'd like to see what breed they are. I know somebody who took a bitch from me, a Labrador bitch. I'm not going to mention names. This is years and years ago. This is a true story. And he said, I'll mate her. As she's in season, he said, drop her down to me. And we tried to, she was quite a soft bitch. And she didn't particularly get on with this dog. This dog was a bit dominant with her. And he says, just leave her with me for a day or two, Chris, and I'll mate them. And if they mate them, I'll have a pup off her. And so it's important to me to have a pup off her. So I trusted him, right? She had a litter of 5. And they all had skin infections. I've never had a problem with skin infections, but the pups had skin infection. And I didn't tell him the pups had skin infection, but I sorted it out. It cleared itself after a while, but the pups had skin infection, never had it before. So he said, phoned me up, said, how many pups you had, Chris? I said 5 or 6, I think it was. And he said, it was amazing, you know, she was so difficult to mate with. She was scared of the dog dominating her and wouldn't let him jump on her back. She was backing him off. He said, I tossed him off into a Tesco's carrier bag. Oh, for fuck's sake, Sue. For fuck's sake, Sue. She's gone and fucking blown it. And she's got every little help. She had to freaking blow it, didn't she? Shut up, Mark. She's heard that one that many times she couldn't help herself. Honestly, this is getting freaking worse. I can't even tell a joke these days without her jumping in and freaking spoiling the joke. How do you think Billy Connolly would feel if... Stop it, Trace. How do you think Billy Connolly, Pamela Anderson, Pamela Stevens in it, jumped in and went, freaking, I'm just going to ruin that for you, Billy, on stage. Because I've heard it that many freaking times. More the club card. Honestly, I was telling that so cleverly then, wasn't I? You were all freaking falling for it until she, in the corner, decided to ruin it. Yeah, so anyway, I don't know why I'm shouting. I'm just... like I said to you, it's not a nice situation when you're seeing someone go who's been like your family member and that. But you know, how old is she, Sue?
She would have been 91 in May.
Hang on, she said she would have been 91 in May.
90, she'd be 91 in May.
That's if she might still make it, but I don't think
No.
so. We don't think so. You know, she's on her last legs. Mark Beard says, "Well done, Sue." Well, for ruining my joke. Thank you, Mark. Thank you. But the thing is, though, if you go down here at Tesco's, you could get a 2-for-1 deal, couldn't you? You could wank into a bag twice. I bet somebody just come in and go, "What the frick's he on about? Wanking into a bag?" So anyway, what I'm saying is, I don't know what I was saying. Do you know what? Freaking side going mad, isn't it? Going mad. 91 is a fair old achievement. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. 91. Yeah, she's 91. But I ain't being funny. Do you know what I do? When things hit me in the top of the head, I say it, and I've got Susie Two Shoes in the background, and she knows I'm like that. So you know, if we've had if something happens, sometimes I've got to be careful I don't say it if she don't want me to say it. And so it's like, but I look at things like it's life, isn't it? It's life. It's 91. She's 91 years old, and she's on her last legs. And I would rather, and I'm not being nasty in any way, and Sue agrees with me, I'd rather now just up the morphine and go, here, end of. At 91. She's been saying for a while that she doesn't want to live. And it's horrible watching. You wouldn't do it to a dog. You wouldn't do it to a dog. Sorry?
They'd have you for animal cruelty.
What?
A dog suffer like that.
All right, for letting a dog suffer. Yeah, she's right, isn't she? You know, I wouldn't do it to a dog. If a dog was in distress, and she's in distress, unless you put her under with such drugs that it just crashes her right out. It's not nice watching somebody fighting to want to go and saying they want to go. And I don't mean to be morbid, everyone, but we all go through life, don't we? And perhaps not enough people talk about it. Danny Wells spoke about this on his dog e-collar and said exactly the same. You wouldn't do it to a dog. What's different with humans? Yeah, exactly, Karen. And then you've got to come home, and then we've relaxed a little bit, get something to eat, and then you've got to be Jolly Chris, and Sue's got to go to work tomorrow. And she might get another phone call tomorrow when she come home early today because they thought she was going to die today. But you know, if it prolongs for another 3, 4, 5, 6 days, and I said to the nurse today, and she went, no, we give them the most wonderful send-off. I don't think it is a wonderful send-off, but she just got to have that mindset. God bless her. Exactly, Mark. Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's not a nice thing. But I said something today. We come in this, and see if I can ruin it. I said we come into this world in a hospital and we leave in a hospital. She went, no, you don't. I was born indoors. We were born. Me and my sister were born indoors in the house. I thought, freaking hell, that's me. It's me because I was born in a freaking hospital. And the thing is, you might be lucky if you're going to die in a hospital, but you might be unlucky because you might go before your time's up. But there's got to be quality of life, doesn't there? There's got to be quality of life. And not being funny, we've had to go through that, watching her become less and less capable of fending for herself, then needing people to help her, then going into an old people's home and walking in there and smelling the piss and watching the people walking around freaking into her room who shouldn't be in there and going, get the fuck out, get out. And they can't help it. They're not freaking right in the freaking head. But she has got all the marbles, if you know what I mean. And it's sad because she said, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And that's the same thing, isn't it? We understand it. It's not like, oh, how could you even say that? You're alive. You've reached a stage sometimes in life where you don't want to be here anymore. And surely they should have the choice, but it's a difficult one, isn't it? It is a difficult one. And it's so easy being judgmental, isn't it? Knowing what the best thing, but I tell you what, if they went, here, there's an injection, just stick that in your arm, it'd be like the COVID jab. Freaking have it. And I would take the freaking jab all day long. I'd put it in my arm myself. I'd sign an affidavit. But the only problem is, this is what I'm thinking. I think Sue is trying to get me fatter and fatter and fatter until I explode. So then she won't have to wheel me round the corridors in the Not Hospital, because that's where I'm going. My close friend done what he loved right up to the last day before he passed away. How lucky you are in his sleep. He was out picking up the day before, and I found him in a chair the next day. Jan, wouldn't that be wonderful? Wouldn't that be wonderful if you, I don't mean 50, I don't mean 60, I don't mean 70 with today's age. 80, 90 would be lovely, wouldn't it? But I mean, I'd take off 5 years of the shitty years to go earlier than the shitty years, if you know what I mean. I would personally. You're 73. Yeah. And you know, there's so much quick. I lost my dad, and my nan, as both nans are still living. One has severe dementia, and that's just horrible. The other is ill in health, physically. Exactly. And it's the same as watching a dog grow old. A lot of people, I bet on here, have watched a dog grow old and die. I've been lucky because I've sold those dogs on, and I remember them as when I sold them at that peak, at that great age. And in my head, they're all still running. They're all still in the fields with the people. They're all having all the shoots, and a lot of them have died. A lot of them are gone. People have contacted me and said it, and it brings a tear to my eye. And I'm an hard bastard. But I'm not an hard bastard, really. I'm just a freaking. I tell you, I can't watch films anywhere these days without freaking blubbering up, wiping my eyes. And Sue don't see it. I don't want to freaking see it, but I can't help it. As you become right. No, I won't say you become soft as you get older, because one of you is going to say something. Get some Viagra. No, I didn't mean it that way. Anyway. So I'm holding a mock trial here on Saturday in Tesco's car park. Anybody want to come along? We'll be throwing dummies and pushing trolleys. So if anybody wants to come along, you'll gain trolley experience of how to push a trolley straight, how not to get dogs stuck in a gate in a trolley. Hang on. Now I need some help here now, Leanne. Watch 50 Shades of Grey. That will change things. It's never changed nothing for me. I switched off halfway through. Is it the third one? I thought, what a load of shite. It's nothing like reality. Nothing like reality, honestly. Have you seen these programs? You see Kevin McLeod, is it, from Grand Designs? How many of these people live in these freaking absolutely brilliant houses, and they got no curtains? They got no curtains on their windows. It would just be a shag feast if it was my house like that. You'd see me running around naked chasing Sue on a regular basis. It would be steamy windows, right? In the real world, you draw your curtains before you have sex, don't you? Unless you're kinky. And then you leave them open for everyone to see. And I think to myself, why are people exhibitionists and actually like watching other people watching them? I always tell Kieran, leave them open, says he. Stop it. There's nothing better. I used to, when I first come to Cornwall, I got involved with a girl, and we lived on the Barbican. I don't know if anyone knows the Barbican, in Plymouth. It's a famous like fishing area, and with all the shops down below. And I had a prestige flat above on the Barbican, and in the summer, there's thousands and thousands of people that walk down the Barbican looking at all the shops with the kids, with the grandma, with the granddad, and everyone. It's a massive holiday. What do you call it?
Destination.
No, what do you call it? I don't know. Anyway, it's the Barbican. Anyway, I had a flat. And
historic, isn't it?
what do?
It's historic, isn't it? The Barbican?
Yeah, it's historic. It's a port. It's where they went off to America on Mayflower Steps and all that. And there's old buildings and anyway, I was one building above. It's like a holiday resort area, isn't it? Like you come sightseeing and all that, and people take photos and everything. And I was the room above an off license in the street, and the rest of there were art galleries and all this sort of stuff, and they sell rock and they sell fudge and all that sort of stuff, and plates and all that crap. Anyway, and she used to scream. She used to scream a lot when having sex, and it was midsummer. It was absolutely boiling, and it was a bay window, and I had the windows open but the curtains drawn. Right, and I'm having sex and she's screaming like crazy. And when she screamed on a regular basis a little bit too much, somebody downstairs in the shop would obviously put a fucking broomstick up and bang the fucking ceiling like, hey, everybody can hear you down there, you dirty bastards. Right? Anyway, this day, I've got bent over the freaking settee and I'm freaking slapping it, right? And I wasn't 20 odd stone then. I was a jackrabbit, right? I was a bit like Karen, right? No, sorry, I lasted longer than Karen. Sorry, Ailey.
Gary Marriott, he's the perfect man.
Oh, Gary Marriott, so you said the perfect man. So anyway, I was slapping the shit out of her, right? And she loved it, and she was screaming like hell. I'm not being funny. The more they scream, the more you want to give them, don't you? Because there's something sexy about it in your younger days. In your older days, it's like, shut the fuck up, right? But as you're younger, it's like, yeah, I'm a real man, I am. Anyway, I'm banging it, and I never thought nothing of it. And then all of a sudden, I could hear fucking clapping. I could actually hear clapping. I thought, what the fuck is that? So I pulls the fucking curtain back, and down below is about 50 people looking up, going like this. I fucking tell you, I took a bow, and she took a curtsy. There was hoops of hooray, well done, yeah. I felt that big. No, I didn't feel that big. Now it's like, no, I'm going to bed. I have a headache. How can you say that?
Karen's one is funny.
Sounds like a James song.
No, too hot. Gotta read the first bit first.
Me and Ailey.
Yeah.
Me and Ailey went to an hotel where I picked up Ray's dog up. The next room, you never had anything like it. The guy had some serious stamina morning after. So it's
morning after, then read the next bit then.
Old couple walked out of the room. I couldn't believe I was speechless. No. Karen, trust me. We have best sex now than we've ever had because I can last longer. She loves it. If you can go for an hour, she loves it. She doesn't want 5-minute wonder. She doesn't want a 5-minute wonder. If you ever fucking do, let's go back there, please. Okay, 5 minutes is a bit short. Let's have 10 minutes. This Wednesday night has just become freaking ridiculous. But guess what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to become so offensive that we get nobody in here again. I can have my Wednesday night off. We got 15 people in here. We used to get 30 or 40. But some of them are going, oh my fucking God, I can't hear this shit. My missus in the background. She'll want freaking hour's sex. An hour's sex. Chris, in thought he was smashing her with a hammer against the wall for hours and wouldn't shake. I tell you another little story before we go. I was in another flat in another part of Plymouth with the same girl, and like I say, she was noisy, so I knew that other people would hear her screaming, right? The bloke who was next to us was a Marine, and he was away, but he used to come back. When he come back, they were at it like rabbits, like we were. It used to be like fucking headbed, 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 headboard, 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 headboard. And they fell out one day. I heard them screaming, and I heard the doors banging. And I went down the flat, opened the flat door to go down the stairs to do something. Can't remember what it was. About a couple of hours later, and on the door was about 15. You remember the cameras that you could take a freaking Kodak camera, you take a picture, instant picture. They were crap. They'd take an instant picture and then you could wave them around, and they actually happened. There was about 15 pictures of her naked with her legs wide open, pinned to the door. Retribution because of the argument. I'll tell you what, every time I looked at her and she smiled at me, I never looked at her in the same way again. It was a rough area of Plymouth. No, it was in them days, honestly. I can't tell you. I think it was just when colour came out, if anyone's interested. Thought you were going to say you went round there to give her one when he's away. I tell you what, you lot are freaking terrible. Why the freaking hell would I go around there at freaking 18 years of age when he was a freaking SAS freaking killer? Honestly, I may look stupid. Come back and have a freaking tattoo across my head with a freaking... Oh, honestly. The neighbours complain about the noise above because she only comes when she's on top. David. Anyway, I think personally, I've taken tonight too far, and I apologise to everybody. But once my mind starts racing, it starts racing. And I'm trying to get over the fact of thinking about that freaking hula skirt. 2 messages here. Someone's been sick. Shall we tell you what they are? Ha 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 ha. Oh no, we won't go there. It's naked pictures somebody sent me. Anyway, on that note, I'd just like to say I'm sorry we've not talked about dogs tonight. And anybody who came in and wants to talk about dogs, you'll have to contact me privately, won't you? Now I'm back on the scene. And I want you to give me marks out of 10 if you think I could lose a lot of weight around here. If you think I could lose a lot of weight around here, tell me about if you think I could lose 10%, put 10. No, 100%. No, don't put 100%. No. Yeah, just put the figure of weight you think I could lose around here. Do you think I've got fat cheeks? Or do you think I look like Richard Harris? Chris, last question. Far away. Come on then. Sorry, meant to send that. What?
Send it to someone else.
What's last question? Where's the question? Somebody got a question before we go.
Karen.
Where is it?
We're waiting.
We're waiting, Karen. Karen, we're waiting.
No, I think he means Chris. Last question. Sorry, I was meant to send that to someone else.
All right. Sorry. Right. Okay. If you was to rate yourself, what are you out of? What?
Oh, it is that.
If you were to rate yourself, what are you to rate yourself out of? For what, Karen? Sexually, Karen. Oh, as a trainer. Freaking hell. Can't we talk about something serious? As a trainer, Karen, I would say, with what, Karen? Rate myself in what way? It's in... Leanne, stop laughing. We're serious here.
No, she's laughing at.
More chins than a Chinese phone book. Fuck you! Why are you not listening? Shut up! Right. I phoned up the Chinese and said, can I put an order in? She said, yes, what do you want? I says, do you deliver? She says, no, we only do chicken and beef. with Gundogs, your speciality, just that department. Karen, I think personally, I used to be a 10 out of 10. A little bit like Gary Marriott. But since putting on weight and getting older, I've got to confess, I've probably dropped down to a 7 in the real terms. But when I look at myself in the mirror, we haven't got no mirrors that are full length in this house for a fucking reason. So I can only see that, Karen, and I think, well, not too bad. You ain't got freaking. Watched that thing the other day. Watched a program on telly, and I used to love her, Jodie Foster. I've never seen so many freaking lines across her head, and freaking like poor skin, and it must be the sun and being thin, because fat people, I don't think look as old as thin people that quick.
Oh, look at my mother.
Mature looking chap, he says. Who? I'm a mature looking chap. Do you hear about the queer Eskimo and a chap on his dick?
You.
Oh, thank you, Steve. I thought you were talking about a queer Eskimo, a chap on his dick. Knowledge is king, still at 10. Peter Pan, yeah. Yeah, the knowledge is there and the wisdom is there, but you start to slow down. And I used to look at, I mean, I was so lucky to have Keith Erlandson as a mentor who gave me so much information. But when we actually seen him, he was an old man. You know, when we used to go up there, he was an old man. So you can't expect it couldn't show me him at his peak. I mean, when was I at my peak, Sue? What age was I at my peak? I'd gone past my peak by the time I got involved there. How old was I when I got involved with you, Sue?
24.
24. I'm on my way out at that stage. She just took a freaking reject, didn't she? It's on my way out. I've had my good years. Yeah, it's got the good year around your freaking belly now, Chris. Like a fine wine, Chris. I think you're right in a way. I think you're right in a way. If you've got your fitness and you can get out and you can, and I think you become cleverer. She's having another freaking snigger in the background. You had a peak. In them days, I could. Yeah, in them days, I could have a peak. But what I'm saying is, like, I've done a lot of sports, and I did a lot of. Although I've done martial arts and I've done badminton, I did a lot of badminton, and the dog training as well. I've kept reasonably fit for so long until I had a problem with the jab. So one prick has caused a bigger problem than most things in my life, but it's not the sort of prick I wanted. So what I'm saying is, like, it's a horrible question, Karen. You've upset me now. You've upset me because I think a confident person should feel that they're a 10 out of 10, shouldn't they? I don't think that's big-headed. If you're good at what you do and you've proved it time and time again, and you help people and you've achieved what you wanted to achieve, I mean, I can't say I'm 10 out of 10 academically. I wish I had more academic skill. I wish I had the wisdom and knowledge of Erlandson or Barry Wilkes, geniuses in their own right. And it's easy to throw those words at people, genius, but they stand above others, way above others, with the way they are articulate and can put it across. But I think I put it across on layman's terms, and I keep it simple. And I think that helps most people. And it's the same with dog training. If the dog understands the simplicity of it, then the dog learns quicker than I've had some very, very intelligent people with high background of knowledge in their area of expertise and get paid mega money, but they lack common sense. They lack common sense. That was another thing. We've got a few people in here, 16 people in here, so I'll ask that question. I don't know if anybody listened to the Ricky Maloney podcast where he said that on drives he doesn't want to disturb the birds, so they wait until the guns have moved on to the next drive and then start picking up. That way it gives the birds that have come into the pens that haven't been shot or damaged time to recover and fly off or move away. I have never been on a shoot yet where I can think to myself, no problem, we'll catch up with the guns on the next drive, because who's going to sort out the runners if there's no picking up team behind the guns when the runners come down? I just thought it was pathetic, and I've never ever been on a shoot, and I can't agree with what he was saying. That is a trial man with Labradors, and he wants to go to, he's been successful. I'm not knocking that. He's been successful. He's been I've not heard much from him over the years, but I listened to the podcast and it was Guns on Pegs. And to be honest with you, I'm being totally honest, I don't come from that background of Lardidars, but I've mingled with Lardidars, and I don't need to sort of be in that group of people having a port and isn't it wonderful? Wonderful. I'm too fucking busy out there picking up. I'm too busy working the team and picking up and making sure those birds are in the bag. And I guarantee that if you stayed picking up on one drive and going through the woods with your dogs looking for birds, if you've got 20 Labradors there and you just let them go at the end of the drive, you're not controlling them dogs, you're just letting them sweep. So you're doing a completely different thing. A spaniel man can't afford to do that if you're going to run that dog in competition. He cannot afford to send that dog out and go, off you go, and go as far as you like, and for him to chase stuff and come back with stuff. You have to protect the dog. Now, if I had a couple of Labradors, I still want those dogs in sight. I want them in sight. On the odd occasion, they go off after a bird, but you're like slightly apprehensive if they're not come back within sort of a minute, 2 minutes, because it's like, where the bloody hell's the dog, right? Because I've never had dogs really out of my sight, if you know what I mean. That doesn't mean I don't let dogs sweep up in front of me. That doesn't mean I don't do the job. But I've got to honestly say that I could not believe what he was peddling. And the Guns on Pegs are like, oh, I've never done it like that. And I've learned something today. I've learned something. And I'm thinking, you haven't. You've been missold an ideology, because he's a trialing man and he doesn't want to send his dogs during the drive. Why can't you send the dogs during the drive for the runners and have the dogs sitting there steady? Because a lot of them worry about the dogs not being steady. Right? I'm being totally honest. He did talk and his reasoning, but I'd like to see the video showing it worked. Well, what he said he can do, Graham, but you can't guarantee that the what happens when they shoot birds during the drive and the picking up team's not there because they're on the last drive still picking up. What happens to the runners? What happens to the birds that go down holes? What happens for the birds that are shot way back and you never seen it? Been fun as usual. There you go. Steve wants to go, so I'm going. I'm going, you lot. The 16 of you in the house, and everyone wants to go. So good night. Who's gone? David's gone. Honestly, he's counting sheep. He'd be counting sheep now, David would. You should have seen the freaking joke that someone sent me. Who wants to see it before we go? It's very offensive. Does anybody want to see the joke before we go? Anybody? Anybody want to see it? You see what someone's just sent me? Take care with Sue's mum. Yeah, those foxcrows. It says here, jelly belly, beer belly, big bollocks, skinny dick, fat bastard, size XXXXL. That has come through. That has come through with just this live feed. Good night. I'm not gonna get over this. Good night, all. Thanks for tuning in. See you another day. We've had 1 hour 14 minutes. Where's it gone today, Sue? Good night, all. Oh, geez.